Hey everybody, Cole Olson, Precision Tech Specialist here at Farmers Mutual Hail. We're out on the farm today. Actually, our neighbor just came by with his combine and dropped it off here this morning. We always do the service on his combine every year and get it cleaned up for him and do a little inspection as well. I just want to show you some of the yield monitoring components that go into these combines. The one we're looking at today is a Case IH 5088. It's an older combine. It's at least 12 or 14 years old. So we really got to keep an eye on all the service items. And we're going to check out the yield monitoring system today. All right, the first thing I'm going to check out is the moisture sensor. The moisture sensor is over here. It would be on the right-hand side of the machine. Actually, right there it is. It's this piece right here, and it goes right on the clean grain elevator. That's where all of the grain is flowing up into the grain tank, so that's where we're checking moisture. Really, there's two things to check on these moisture sensors. The first thing is right down here at the bottom. You can see there's two little pins. We'll pull those out. That's just the clean out auger, so that allows that grain to come into the moisture sensor, and then when we're ready to take the next sample, that auger kicks on with this electric motor up here and cleans it out and allows more grain to come down into the sensor. The other thing that we're looking at is the moisture sensor itself, which is this box here, and I'll take this off for you guys so you can see it. But there's two little wing nuts holding this sensor on, but there's a fin inside there. That fin is what's taking the moisture for each sample. All right, so I've got those wing nuts pulled off. As I pull this out here, you can see there's that fin I was talking about. What we want to do is obviously clean all that gunk that's around that fin off, and just inspect to make sure that fin looks correct and it's not broken or cracked in any way. The other thing we want to make sure we do is double check, because you can see actually up in that hole where that fin goes, there's a lot of crusty old moldy corn up in there. So we want to try to get as much of that out as we can, and then we'll actually pull this auger out as well to allow that system to clean itself out. All right, since we've checked that out, really the next thing to check is our mass flow sensor. These come in a couple different ways. So Case IH traditionally has a mass flow sensor at the very top of the clean grain elevator. Same with John Deere. Most of your other aftermarket products like Ag Leader, Precision Planting. There are a few products out there like Claas. They've got their Quantimeter. That Quantimeter is kind of like a laser eye that actually measures the level of the flow going up through that clean elevator. We're up on the top of the combine now. I am standing up here looking into the grain tank. I've already got some of the pieces taken apart, so it's easy for us to kind of get in there and inspect this system. All right, we're in the grain tank here. I've got this cover it's normally here pulled off so we can see a lot easier. This is the top of that clean grain elevator. So we've got our paddles here that actually move the grain up into the tank. And how this works is these paddles actually move this corn or beans or whatever you're harvesting into this mass flow sensor, which is just this black plate that you're looking at, that I'm pointing at. This mass flow sensor right here has a sensor on the back side of it. You can see at the very top here, I've got the sensor housing itself and the cable that runs to it. So with those components right here with our mass flow sensor, basically that clean grain that gets combined and threshed and everything else and gets cleaned, it comes up that clean grain elevator, gets thrown into that mass flow sensor that we just pointed at, and that's how we measure yield. Basically just measuring the weight that's hitting that plate all the time. Pretty simple system, really. Two main components, but yeah, our moisture sensor and obviously our mass flow sensor. Obviously, we want to calibrate these each year, which we'll talk about here next, but there's some other calibrations that we want to do as well each year, like our moisture calibration. Obviously, we want to do that each year, our temperature calibration, and then of course our vibration calibration. We want to do those every year, but of course refer to your combine's operator's manual to really know what you need to be doing. But let's just talk about what we need to do, calibrate to be able to use our yield monitor data for our crop insurance. Okay, so using our crop insurance data for both production reporting and also claims and claim scenarios. The one thing that we need to be able to do is calibrate our combine within 3% each year per crop per season. So per crop per season each year. You know, if you're a corn and bean farmer, you need to do it for corn and soybeans. And you need to provide documentation that you did that. So like I said, we need to be under 3%. Of course, there's a lot of different types of yield monitoring systems, 3 in particular. We've got our single point, our multi-point, and then our self-calibrating combines that are coming out now. So at the end of the day, we need to make sure any of those systems are within 3%. FMH has a calibration form. It looks just like this. You can use it for any of those systems, whether it's a multi-point, single point, or self-calibrating. Basically, it's got the rules on there for using it for your crop insurance. It's easily accessible. It's right on our website at fmh.com. It's also in your Policyholder Center account. If you are a policyholder and have one of those accounts, you can go in there and find it. You can also call your agent as well, and they can get you a nice little form that looks just like this and has a little pocket in it. Or if you're not sure and they can't find it, you can always reach out to your PTS as well, and we can help you get it. So we want to make sure going into this crop season that everybody's got these calibration forms handy. We want to make sure everything's done correctly, and so make sure you're filling out your calibration reports when you're doing those calibrations. It can really save you some headache in the long run of having to go find load tickets from the elevator or measure in bins, stuff like that. So keep in touch with us. Like I said, we've got these calibration reports everywhere. We also have an e-form on our website, so if you want to just jump on there and type it in, you can do that as well. Remember to check us out on YouTube and obviously our website at fmh.com. But until then, thanks for tuning in for this little snippet of the Precision Pulse.